Hello and welcome to Tech Circle. We are back with a fresh episode of Tech This Week, where we bring you up to speed with the most important weekly developments in the enterprise and emerging technology space in India. In today's episode, we discuss the future RIL deal, which finally got SEBI's approval, various mergers and acquisitions that happened in enterprise space this week, MeitY's new AWS-powered quantum computing applications lab, and the major funding deals of the week. I'm Shweta Sharma, and joining me from Tech Circle's newsroom are my colleagues Vignesh Anantraj, Supriya Roy, and Debangna Ghosh. So let's begin with the much-awaited deal between Future Group and Reliance Industries, which finally got a nod from Securities Exchange Board yesterday.
Yes, right, Shweta. SEBI has finally given a go-ahead to Future Group sale of assets to Reliance in a 24,700 crore rupees deal. The nod was given, but on certain clauses that SEBI has put forward. It specifies that the ongoing litigation by Amazon, which is pending in the High Court, Delhi High Court, and the arbitration proceedings should be mentioned by Future Group while seeking shareholders or the National Company Law Tribunal approval.
Yes, Debangana, and it's also held that the go-ahead of the draft scheme of arrangement would be subject to the outcome of these proceedings. And following the update, the Bombay Stock Exchange also granted its no adverse observation report to the deal, which is good news. And moving on to the enterprise side, it's been a busy first few weeks for most of the global technology companies who have started their acquisition spree. Most of these acquisitions are broadly based on the public hybrid cloud, work from home solutions, enhanced security for the new normal. And many of them also seem to be trying to strengthen their footprint in a few new geographies. Starting off, we have a technology firm, Accenture, which bought Argentinian company called Volox on Friday. So Volox is a cloud-native and agile development firm. It has also bought Brazilian cybersecurity firm Real Protect, I guess, around 10 days ago. And it's sending out a strong signal that it wants to expand and increase its footprint in South America aggressively.
Yeah. Cognizant too acquired this Minnesota-based Magenic Technologies, which is a custom software development company. This deal will help Cognizant add 475 more employees across United States and about 350 employees in Manila, Philippines, expanding its footprint in Southeast Asia.
Among all of these giants, I believe the most busy one has been IBM, which had a very busy January. This month, it had a collaboration with LTI to expand its hybrid cloud alliance and has already acquired two companies in January itself. One is Taos, which is a cloud managed services provider, and it also acquired San Francisco-based Salesforce consultancy firm Seven Summits.
This week, IBM also reported its fourth quarter results, where total cloud revenue for FY20 increased 19% year-on-year to $25.1 billion, while the Red Hat numbers went up 18% for the same period. However, its revenues were still in the red, dropping by 5% as compared to the year before.
And this week, IBM also announced a partnership with Atos to make green solutions, or what Atos refers to as decarbonization solutions. These solutions are mostly aimed at reducing the carbon footprint for energy-intensive companies such as manufacturing, oil and gas, and solar. And lastly, Citrix also made one of its biggest acquisitions till date, buying this work-from-home organization called Wrike for a cool $2.25 billion.
Yeah, right, Vignesh. And don't forget that Citrix has a clear strategy for the company to move from its legacy subscription-based model to a total SaaS-based model. So this quarter, in fact, they have achieved 85% SaaS subscription rate.
In fact, Debangna, its overall SaaS revenue is at 39%. It's still on the lower side, but it's been growing steadily. And I believe in the previous quarter itself, it was in its 60s. Now it's at 85%, which is a really good jump.
All right, moving on. In a rather muted week for the tech startup deal making, there were some standouts. Zomato is reportedly closing a fresh $500 million investment, which is believed to be its pre-IPO round. And the latest fundraise, according to the Economic Times, is a mix of primary cash infusion of $250 million by existing investors and another 250 via secondary sale of shares by Chinese investors Ant Group and Sunlight Fund.
Yeah, right, Shweta. So with this fundraise, Zomato's valuation will reportedly hit a $5.5 billion. The company also reportedly acquired a sports startup called Fitso this week. The deal size is reported to be in the range of around 80 to 100 crore rupees.
Oh. In another deal that happened this week, Salesforce Ventures, the venture capital arm of the US-based CRM giant, led a $15 million funding round in Hyderabad-based HR tech startup Darwinbox. Now, what's most interesting of this entire deal is that Salesforce's first investment has to be is this particular company, Darwinbox, and the second investment in all of APAC region. So to discuss the deal in detail and what it brings for Darwinbox, and just to have such a great name on your board, we joined with Rohit, who's a co-founder of the company. Hello.
Hey Supriya, Rohit here.
All good. How's everything at your end?
All good, Supriya.
And
all fine and safe.
No cold, no flu. Good. Rohit, tell me, how much of a game changer does this deal represent for Darwinbox, as much as it does in the glamorous headlines out there, with this being the first investment from Salesforce's end in India? I know that Lightspeed, Sequoia, India, all the biggies out there, all big institutional investors are on your board. But now with the new side of strategic investments coming in, with somebody like Salesforce who really understands the SaaS business better than most out there, what changes with their involvement in their investment?
A lot of Salesforce, right? Salesforce for a lot of us is the first one we look to, saying what is best practices in every aspect of the business, right? So if you're thinking about customer success or customer support or sales, we would look back and try to understand what is Salesforce doing, because they've been in the industry for 17 years and they must have mastered some of these arts or science, right? Of sales or customer success or product.
Plus all the analytics that comes along.
Everything, right? Analytics, all of that we would have understood. They would have iterated and gotten better at.
Yeah.
So for us, it's a good opportunity to learn from them.
Yeah.
Right. So on all aspects, we get to learn from them. It is also for them to distribute that learnings in terms of making sure a growing company grows faster or grows bigger, whatever that is. Right. So they have a certain small skin in the game and they have good outcomes that is coming out of it.
Rohit, you had just finished raising a round, another $15 million back then, with Sequoia leading the round. I know that you weren't immediately looking for investments back then, and the cash runway was considerably long. How does this entire thing play out?
We raised money in 2019 end from Sequoia.
Yeah.
And because we were growing very efficiently, and SaaS is not a business where you need to burn a lot of money, right? If you're making good revenues, you don't burn a lot, right? And we've grown 3x from when Sequoia has invested in us, right? So that means our revenues were also growing, right?
So from August to January now, you've grown 300.
Actually, October last year we've grown 3x.
Oh wow, okay. All right, Rohit, this will be all the questions from Tech This Week. Thank you so much for making the time and sharing your thoughts, and all the best for the times ahead.
Perfect, Supriya. Thanks so much. Great talking to you. You too.
And moving on, we also saw Dunzo, the hyperlocal logistics startup, raise a $45 million round in Series D funding. This was led by venture capital firm Lightbox Ventures. And this also saw participation from South Korea's STIC Ventures, US-based 3L Capital, along with Google.
So another startup that raised huge funding this week was agri-tech company Dehat. It raised around $30 million in its Series C funding round led by Process Ventures. It will use the capital to enhance its technological infrastructure and also use it for the expansion of the business.
In another news this week, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has decided that it will collaborate with AWS to set up a quantum computing applications R&D lab. Amazon will provide hosting services, yes, but also technical and programmatic support.
And for any of you wondering what quantum computing is, it is an entire complex infrastructure setup and management, which is beyond the reach of traditional computer systems. So quantum processors are used by researchers to test out algorithms for applications, and these are for like really high-speed hyperscale models where you need the research really for quick real-time results.
Yes, in fact, IBM too has something called IBM Quantum, which provides cloud-based software for client teams to access our quantum computers anytime. Now, all computers rely on a fundamental metric to store and use data. So while current computers work with information in binary 0 and 1 states, quantum computers go beyond and use quantum bits or qubits.
I was reading this interesting story from ZDNet yesterday, and it said that IBM researchers seem to have achieved quantum computing simulation for new materials with fewer qubits. To give some use case perspective here, Mercedes-Benz maker Daimler, which is a long-term partner, a quantum research partner for IBM, has shown a strong interest in these results, which is set to go a long way in developing higher performing, longer lasting and less expensive batteries. So when we're talking quantum computing, we're talking anything ranging from doing your tasks faster with less to saving the world with electric vehicles.
Wow. And on that note, it's a wrap on this episode of Tech This Week. Do stay tuned in and logged on to techcircle.in for more interesting news and updates. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.